यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे प्रणाम संकीर्तन की जय विष्णुपाद परम सुप्रभातचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतस्त्री श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परम सुप्रभातचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतस्त्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी शिल प्रपाद की गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की भक्तिनोद ठाकुर की जगन्नाथ बाबा जी महाराज की षडगोस्वामी स्वामी वृंद की पंचतत्व की श्री निताई गौरांग की राधागोविंद गौर नटराज की जगन्नाथ बल्ले सुब्रमण्या की तुलसी महारानी की all glorious to assembled devotees, all glorious to assembled devotees, all glorious to assembled, all glorious to Guru and Gaurang. Please recite after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भक्तिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. We'll read from Canto 10th, chapter 64, verse number 43. Please recite after me. ब्राह्मण अर्थ ही अपार्थ हर्तारं पातयति अद अजानान्तम् अपि हि एनं Nrigam Brahmana Gau Iva Brahmanartho hi apahrita Hartaram patayati ada Ajanantam api enam Nrigam Brahmana Gaur Iva Brahmanartho hi apahruto Hartaram patayati ada ajanantam apihi enam nirgam brahmana gauriva brahmanartho hi apahruto hartaram patayati ada ajanantam apihi enam nirgam brahmana gauriva. What word meaning? Brahmana of a Brahmana. Artha, the property. He, indeed. Apahrita, taken away. Hartaram, the taker. Patayati, causes to fall. Ada, down. Ajanantam, unaware. Api, even. He, indeed. Enam, this person. Nrigam, King Niga. Brahmana, of the Brahmana. Gau, the cow. Iva, as. Translation by the disciples of Sri A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Shilprapad ki disciples ki. When a Brahmana's property is stolen, even unknowingly, it is certainly causes the person who takes it to fall down, just as the Brahmana's cow did to Nriga. Translation once again. When the Brahmana's property is stolen, even unknowingly, it certainly causes the person who takes it to fall down, just as the Brahmana's cow did to Nriga. Purport. The Lord here demonstrates that his instructions are not theoretical but practical, as seen concretely in the case of Nriga Maharaj. We have two more slokas, 42 and 44. 42 is Lord Krishna is saying, just as I always carefully bow down to Brahmanas, so all of you should likewise bow down to them. I will punish anyone who acts otherwise. And today's translation is, when the Brahmana's property is stolen, even unknowingly, it is certainly causes the person who takes it to fall down, just as the Brahmana's cow did to Nriga. And last verse. Having thus instructed the residents of Dwarka, Lord Mukunda, purifier of all the worlds, entered his palace. So that ends the purport. of humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada to the 10th canto, 64th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, the deliverance of Kring Nira. We'll offer prayers and we'll start. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं पर्यनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौतिषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय नीलाचला निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे I seek blessings of all devotees who are sitting here, everyone. So that I'll be able to speak something from Srimad Bhagavatam and glorify lordships and for my own purification. So please bless me. So here, and today is auspicious day also, Snana Yatra. We will discuss that also about appearance of Lord Jagannath. So here, Lord Krishna himself instructing us, what will happen if one usurps the property of a Brahmana, even unknowingly, it causes to fall down. Previous verses, Lord says, if somebody takes his property, there is one level of punishment. But if one forcibly takes, more, all the more generations of his family, they all destroyed. So here, Lord is telling how. So there are so many, this kind of instructions are there to understand us how to deal with the Brahmanas, devotees. And in Vedas, there are so many rules prescribed. One has to follow. And only some exception, like some things like in Kali Yuga, people are very degraded. So we get some verses in Bhagavatam, first canto it comes. Like in other ages, even if what you think, it will have consequences. But in Kali Yuga, at least, what thoughts comes in the mind, it is not counted. But if one thinks good in the mind in Kali Yuga, that he will get the credit. So this kind of little, what you think in the mind, that is, and we, whatever offenses we happen during our chanting or many times, we take shelter of the holy name finally. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktur. And Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Actually, if we see all the rules and regulations given in the Shastras, Manu Samhita and all other, actually Kali people will have no hope actually. They are so fallen that only because by mercy of Panchatattva, we are all having hope. In Chaitanya Chaitamrita it comes the verse Agatim Eka Gatim. Those who have not having any hopes, for them Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the hope for them. Otherwise, there is no hope. It's definitely people, one falls down into illusion. So, by taking shelter of Panchattva, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktur. By taking their shelter, we can chant the holy names and the benediction given in Kali Yuga. And by taking shelter of the holy name, we can able to whatever rules and regulations given in Shastra, which we may not be able to follow. I'm not saying about this. There are many rules and regulations given in the Shastra. Still, one can perfect his life by taking shelter of the holy name. Like when we perform ceremonies, yajnas, any other times, we chant Hare Krishna mantra. That is final shelter. Whether we are able to do those activities perfectly or not, whatever, like if you want to construct a building, there is a lot of vastu and so many other things are there. So so many factors may be there, but by taking shelter of the holy name, one can able to overcome all those things. And the process of bhakti, अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम ज्ञान करणावृत्ति अनावृतम अनुकूल्येन कृष्णानुशीलनम भक्तिरुत्तम. So in process of bhakti, like in karma yoga, where you perform activity, then you offer the result to the Lord. But in bhakti, before doing the activity only, we do it for the pleasure of the Lord. Like when we do chanting in the morning, before starting only we pray to the Lord. Let me chant for your pleasure, for the pleasure of Guru, Krishna and Vaishnavas. So before performing the activity, we are offering that we are doing for the pleasure of the Lord. So it is very important that we our intentions are pure, not to please Krishna, and the quality should be maintained. But because of many times we have so many other attachments, because of that we are not able to maintain intentions pure and quality also with proper quality. Recently I was just reading the Sistashtam prayers in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Recently Maharaj Prabhu also explained about verses of Shishashna verses. In that, Lord is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praying, is reciting the verses. Cheto darpanam arjanam bhav mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya Kairva Chandrika Vidyanam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandambudi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Paramvijite Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. I will just open the verses. Shri Nitai Gaurang ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining in the verses. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking. Harshe Prabhu kahena Suna Swarup Ram Raya Nama Sankirtana Kalo Parama Upaya. He's saying, in great jubilation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear Swarup Damodar and Ramanandrai, know from me, the chanting of the holy names is the most feasible means of salvation in the age of Kali Yuga. And Sankirtan Yajna Kalo Krishna Aradhana Saita Sumeda Paya Krishnera Charana. Antilila 20.9. In the age of Kali, the process of worshipping Krishna is to perform sacrifice by chanting the holy name of the Lord. One who does so is certainly very intelligent. He attains the shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. So that verse Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam Sango Pangastabhasana Yagne Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Sumedasa. So one who is intelligent, he worships Lord by chanting the holy names. नाम संकीर्तन అయితే सर्व अनर्थ नाश सर्व सुबोधय कृष्ण प्रेमेर उल्लास. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, one can be freed from all undesirable habits. This is the means of awakening all good fortune and initiating the flow of waves of love for Krishna. Then Chaitanya recites this Cheto Darpanam Arjuna. So in this we see the Lord is telling what are the benefits, what causes by chanting the holy names. Cleanses the mirror of the heart and stops the miseries of blazing fire of material existence. And it's like now we are experiencing hot. So, and it's like cleansing the mirror of the heart. That day, Sudham Prabhu is explaining. It is like a gutter, with a filthy material we see behind the kitchen, that side. Black color. So the heart of Kaliga people are heart like me. It is like that. So many undesirable things are there. Uh, Sometimes when we think what thoughts comes in the mind, it's like really silly. So, but only Kalyuga is that now you have that exception that thoughts will not have punishment or something. That doesn't mean that we contemplate, because that leads to again action. But it is a heart is like that. So we just neglect what comes in the mind. We process on cleansing the heart, by taking shelter of the holy name, taking the process. So gradually it goes off. Like I find some difference in when I joined and now some difference is there. So hope as go on practicing, some more change will be there. And So, so it is like gutter, and it is Bhava Maha Davagni. It is like, and it is very hot, and it is very blazing fire in the heart, and people commit suicide and so many things, and so many difficulties are there. These are all there in the world, but by taking shelter of the holy name, one experience the this Shreya Kairva Chandrika Vitanam, and the whole situation turns into, and there is moonlight is there, and in the night, and the moonlight is there, and there is a uh, pond, in a clean pond with all lotuses and swans, and all cool breeze with fragrance, and a lotus fragrance is coming like that. So the person who takes this chanting process, his life turns, all is gradually the all anarthas will go, and person experience bliss in his life. Shreya Kairva Chandrika Vidana. Vidya Vadu Jivan. He gets all the knowledge, of Sambandha Gnan, everything, relation with the Lord. And Anandambudi Vardhanam. And which the bliss which is always increasing. In the material world, there is no Ananda which has anything increase. Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate. Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So this way, Lord glorifies the Lord. How one experience the bliss in Krishna consciousness and experience the shelter of the Lord at every step. And Lord further explains, Sankirtan haite papa samsara nashana, chitta shuddhi sarva bhakti sadhana udgama. By performing congregation chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, one can destroy the sinful condition of material existence, purify the unclean heart, and awaken all varieties of devotional service. Then Krishna Premodgama, Premamrita Aswadana, Krishna Prapti, Sevamrita Samudre Majjana. The results of chanting is that one awakens his love for Krishna and tastes transcendental bliss. Ultimately, one attains the association of Krishna and engages in his devotional service, as if immersing oneself in a great ocean of love. So one awakens love for Krishna, then tastes transcendental bliss. One attains the association of Krishna and engages in his devotional service, and immersing oneself in great love of Krishna. So, like that, Lord glorifying how by taking shelter of the Holy Name, all these things manifest in the sadhaka. And immediately, Lord felt another kind of emotions. Lamentation, humility awoke within the, that is, Uttila Vishada Dainya, Pade Apana Sloka, Yahara Ardha Shuni Sabha Yaya Dukkha Shoka. Lamentation, humility awoke within Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he began reciting another of his own verses. By hearing the meaning of that verse, one forget all unhappiness and lamentation. How many of you want forget your lamentation and unhappiness? Very well. So we can hear the next verse. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, नामनामकारी बहुधा निज सर्व शक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमित स्मरणेन काल ईतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशम् इहा जनिनानुराग. So we recite every day morning these verses, but many times it goes, previously I used to attend. Now many times I am inside altar, but this verse, they, one should cultivate this mood of these verses, then we will relate to our life. So here, with lamentation, in humility, Lord is speaking this. Then I was contemplating on this verse. Why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that, by hearing this verse, one unhappiness and lamentation will go away. So here in the verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking, Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. In the Lord invested all his potencies. Nija means personal potencies, in the holy name. Tatra Arpita. For this to do is bestowed Niyamita Smaranena Kala. There is no hard and fast rules for remembering the Lord, time and all those things. Ita Drishi, so much Tava Krupa, so much Krupa is given, Bhagavan Mama Api, even though so much Krupa is bestowed upon me, even though is bestowed upon me, Durdaivam, Idrisham Iha Janinan Raga. He is saying Durdaivam. Durdaivam meaning is misfortune. So, Idrisham Iha Janinan Raga. So, Lord is depicting the state of a conditioned soul. This misfortune, he is feeling misfortune that he has no attachment for the holy name. So here in the translation, Prabhupada writes, my Lord, O Supreme Personal of Godhead, in your holy name there is all good fortune for the living entity, and therefore you have many names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you expand yourself. You have invested all your potencies in those names. There are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. My dear Lord, although you have bestowed such mercy upon the fallen conditioned souls by liberally teaching your holy names, I am so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. So here, cause of misfortune, proper writing in the translation, that I commit offenses to the chanting of the holy name, therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. So we have to see in our life that we don't commit offenses to the holy name, or in the day that's 10 offenses are there. So if one commit offenses, one cannot develop attachment for chanting the holy names. And here also we see Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, by hearing this verse, one unhappiness and lamentation will go away. So here the sadhaka, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is depicting the role of sadhaka. He is feeling misfortune that he has no attachment for holy name, anuraga, affection. Normally we feel misfortune when we don't get what we want. Now that it is very summer, hot is there. There is no AC in the room. Durdaiva. Or I am feeling so misfortune. I am not fortunate that I have no AC in my room. We have to purchase AC when the current line will come. And I will put AC in the temple hall, like that. So they like that. We feel unfortunate when we don't get all whatever material desires we don't get fulfilled, but we don't feel lamentation for that. I couldn't chant properly today, or I wasted a lot of time sleeping, or did any not able to perform devotional service properly. But here in this verse, Sri Chaitanya is saying that Durdaivam, because I have no uh, anurag for the holy name. So when we develop that kind of lamentation, uh, feeling unhappiness because of not performing devotional activity, devotional service properly, then we don't automatically that lamentation for not having uh, for lack of material things. One will forget all unhappiness and lamentation is basically material lamentation and unhappiness causes of this world, because of relationships or facilities or and unfulfilled desires, mm, losing our loved ones. These are all, but there is a lamentation or unhappiness. Maybe there in is there in spiritual life also. Yashodamai is in anxiety for Krishna. When Krishna is in danger, like that. So our lamentation of gopis and all the rasas are there in the spiritual world, but they are all spiritual. But here, by hearing the meaning of this verse, one forgets all unhappiness means the unhappiness and lamentation which causes in this uh, material things. So for that we have to develop this uh, the real lamentation or feel unhappiness that I am not able to perform our devotional service. So in the sadhaka stage, how much percentage of our time we are Krishna conscious. Now, everyone individually knows, and a lot of time goes in eating, sleeping, and defending, you know, uh, so many things. So for that we should feel lament. For that we should feel unhappiness that I have not uh, performed devotional service. When we feel like that, and uh, we should improve in our devotional service, regarding chanting or uh, there should be steps towards uh, improving, not just only lamenting or something and not working on it. You know, mm, uh, to perform more devotional service uh, nicely. Sudham Prabhu, when he was giving class, Brahmachari class, really it very remarkable statements Prabhu spoke that this devotional service or when a Shravanam hearing chanting, this is not an activity, it is a process. It's not just you do that activity and other times you are doing else, something else. One has to cultivate that, and he said the Shravanam starts after you class over. So, matlab that Shravanam, Mananam, it should continue. Mano Nididhyasam. So whatever we read here, when we are doing our services, that consciousness should be there. You know, ultimately making us remember Lord, connect to Krishna. Krishna consciousness. We should become Krishna conscious by uh, doing the devotion service activities also. Then it becomes the process. But many times, especially myself, many times it is we are doing some activity. It goes even DT services I do. In that also, not conscious of I'm doing this for Nitai Gauranga like that. So one has to develop this. We should feel, uh, try to improve our devotion service, as we see here. That one should feel unfortunate of not performing devotion service properly, even though so much kripa is given to us, because we have got holy name, spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, his books, Srimad Bhagvatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So many things are there, books are there, but there is no desire for reading or trying to apply. I am telling about myself. So this is one thing we can learn. And further, Lord explains. So Lord appears, manifests in many holy names, and here Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "Kaite suite yata tata namalaya kala desha niyamanahi sarva siddhihaya." Regardless of time and place, one who chants the holy name, even while eating and sleeping or sleeping, attains all perfection. So this so much mercy is given, and even by during eating time and sleeping, if one remembers, try to remember Lord. So we should take advantage of mercy given by Panch Tattva and Parampara in our life. We will discuss few, and further he explains what mood one should have. This Tanadapi Sunichena, Tarorupya Saishna, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. So one who thinks himself lower than a grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, who does not expect personal honor but always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily chant the holy name of the Lord. And Lord further explains this. These are the symptoms of one who chants the Hare Krishna mantra. Although he is very exalted, he thinks himself lower than a grass on the ground. And like a tree, he tolerates everything in two ways. So those who are exalted, they see their shortcomings than seeing faults in others. But a conditioned soul who is started practicing, he sees faults in others and thinks oneself very great. But here, Lord is explaining how, like a tree, he tolerates everything in two ways. When a tree is cut down, it does not protest. Even when drying up, it does not ask anyone of water. So even it is cut down, difficulties come, it doesn't protest, and is drying up. It does not ask for anyone. No. But our state, or my state, he is having those facilities. I should also get. You know, you know, sometimes says so that you want something, you ask, but why he has got? Why he has got? And if you want, you ask. But the comparing with others. But here he's saying that he doesn't ask. Okay, let others, if he wants, he may request and he gets it. If you want, at most is you ask. You also ask and take, and if you get it. If you don't get it, here Lord is saying, don't ask only. Just tolerate. But better, that is very low. Thinking that somebody else got, comparing. Sudham Prabhu is saying, comparing, criticizing. Okay. First, competing, comparing, criticizing. So when we are staying in association, we should be careful not to compare with others. He got facility. That is like more, this verse is more higher. It's very higher. In the middle is, if you want, you ask and take. Don't, why he has got. So actually, paradukha sukhi, parasukha para sukha dukhi, para dukha sukhi. I am telling about myself. I am not just. I am not telling any. Matlab, condition state. Mm, one has to overcome. I am telling. I am just sitting in the asana and that's why I am speaking. Otherwise, it applies to me. Like equally applies to me. Many times it is a natural condition state actually, and that is that naive innerly become happy when somebody is distressed or he is in problem. Or I am in better state than him ऐसा लगता है. Or if somebody having good facility, we become why I have not got. So this is the natural state of a conditioned soul, who is having anarthas. Uh, Innerly, one may not express, but if one, when start chanting and applying, one has to apply, then the other way one should come. One parasuka sukhi. One should feel happy by seeing others happy. In Krishna consciousness or in general. Para dukkha dukhi. By seeing others difficulty, we see. We should feel, try to help. So like that here, so that is state here that if a tree cut down, it does not protest. And even when drying up, it does not ask anyone of water. And those who are exalted, they don't even much tolerate every situation and go. And because if we uh, desire things or of this material world, our mind get disturbed. We will not be able to focus on service or chanting, because you want something else, so your mind goes on those things and disturbed. But you just tolerate and my goal is this, and then focus on the real thing, then other things. The tree delivers its fruits, flowers, and whatever else it possesses to anyone and everyone. And it tolerates scorching heat and torrents of rain. Yet it still gives shelter to others. So we should be helping to others than trying to take things from others, and tolerate whatever inconveniences one gets in one's life. So this way, uh, by giving all respect to others, uh, seeing the understanding that Lord is there situated in their heart, and one should perform devotional service. If one chants the holy name of the Lord in this manner, he certainly awakens his dormant love for Krishna's lotus feet. So, like that. And more I am not discussing. Uh, uh, this way we should try to perform devotional service. And time is over. Snanayatra, appearance of Lord Jagannath. I will speak few very short pastime of appearance of Lord Jagannath. This I was hearing from Bhakti Rasamsa Maharaj lecture, how Lord appeared. So it is in Satyuga, thousands and thousands of years ago. It is King Yudhidhamma Swami Maharaj is a great devotee of the Lord. He desired to see the Lord's darshan face to face. So he was desiring to see the Lord, Parabrahman, and so he requests one of the priest to to find out where the Lord is there. Then his brother Vidyapati, he sends him to search out the Lord. Means he gets the information Lord is there in particular place, but nobody know where he is there, like that. So he goes to search for the Neelamadhav. So going, he goes to finally to a place where this Sabra Jati, they stay in the forest, where their occupation is taking care of pigs, that kind of occupation they are there. In that jati, there is one person who is the head of the all that jati is there. So this Vidyapati goes there and he meets him. He stays with him in the in that community, in that place. And then this his name is Viswas. Viswas. Yeah. He requests this Brahmana to marry her daughter. So he agrees and he marries her daughter. Her name is Lalita. So she is qualified. So this Vidyapati marries her, and he stays with there only. Then he sees that this Viswasu is every evening he goes somewhere and he comes next day in the afternoon. This is like every day it happens. And he comes with chandan, all the flowers, everything, prasad, and so he gets doubt where this Vishwasu is going every day. Every day evening he goes and he comes next day afternoon. He asks her, his wife, who is the daughter of that Vishwasu. Then she says that actually it is a secret. Like my father told not to tell anyone. So I don't want to tell, but you are my husband. You are asking. So finally she agrees to tell that he goes to worship Neelamadhav, beautiful deity of Lord is there. So he goes to the forest and he worships the Lord and he comes back. Like that she says. And this Vidyapati says, he says that I want to take darshan of the Lord. Please make some arrangement to take darshan of the Lord. Then she says to his father, then first he doesn't agree to show, because he's a pure devotee, but in the past time, like he feels that if others come to know that Lord is there, then his service to Lord will be taken away by somebody. So he doesn't want to reveal anyone that Lord is there in particular place. Then finally he agrees to take him, but he ties his eyes, closes his eyes. Then Vidyapati wife, she gives the mustard seeds to put on the way, so that that mustard seeds will grow and the plants will come and will come to know the path, and then he can again go and take darshan of the Lord. So he does that way and finds out the place where the Lord is there. Then he keeps this uh, son-in-law, Vidyapati keeps make him sit near the Lord, and he goes to search for offerings for the Lord. Then he sees, Vidyapati sees there is one tree near the pond and near is there, and over the tree one crow is sits there, and the crows fall asleep, and by sleeping it falls into the water. Then it gets goes into the water and dies. So immediately it becomes get 400 form and it goes to Vaikunta in the aeroplane, Vaikunta Viman. So this Vidyapati sees that so much purity and this is there in this place, transcendence that by just dying in this play, touching the water of this water, one gets goes to Vaikunta. Then he also thinks of climbing that tree and dying in the water. Immediately the Akashvani comes that you came for searching for the Lord and taking the, bring King Yudhidhamna there. So he gives up that thought and he comes down. Meanwhile, Lord appears, Nil Madhav appears to this Vishwavasu and says that, see, you are serving me from so many years and you are giving me this kandamul, flower, roots of the tree, fruits and flowers, patram pashpam phalam toyam. You are giving all these things and I am accepting and I am very happy with your service. You are with so much love you are serving. But now I want to accept offerings like a king, all chappan bhog, all cooked items. So I want to be worshipped by King Ridhimna. Then he feels मेरा सेवा चला जाएगा. then uh, then सेवा चला जाएगा करके आई विल स्पीक इन हिंदी, ठीक है. घर आके क्या करते हैं, उनका दामाद को बोलते हैं सनील उनको बांध लेते हैं, उनको बांध के हाउस अरेस्ट कर देते हैं. Afterwards, I am not able to remember properly. Then finally, Vidyapati, finding out the way, by that seeds, will come to know where the Lord is there. Then he goes to King Ridhim Swami in Ridhima and inform him where the Lord is there. Then King Yudhidhamna also makes all things ready to go and take darshan of the Lord. Then he Lord reveals him that you will not be able to see my in this form. So you will be able to worship me in another form. Like that he gets the relation from the Lord. Then Lord also instructs him to make the temple for him, so that he will appear soon in Daru Brahma form or like that. So he starts. He makes the temple. They make the temple ready. Then for the priest to open the temple and perform all the ceremonies, he wants to call Lord Brahma, because he is in that dynasty. So he wants to go to Lord Brahmaji and call him for the opening of the temple and installing Lord. When he goes there, so there Lord Brahma is in some meeting, and there little more time it goes. So when Indradum, when he comes back, Satyayoga chala gaya, sab both many cycles are gone. Then and another king at that time, this temple goes inside the sand near the ocean. Then he excavates that place, and his king name is Gala Madhav. So he wants to install the deity and worship. Then King Ridhim Samaras comes and says, "This is I made this temple. Then he says, no, I am rightful claim for this, to install. So, and both of, it comes, finally, there is one crow staying near, near that, temple place where it is constructed, chanting the holy names and living for many, many thousands of years. So this crow becomes the witness that this is made by the King Indradyumna Maharaj. Then the thing is given to the Indradyumna Maharaj, and uh, that punishment is given to this another king, where that you can't stay in this place, you have to stay in another place, like that. I'm not able to recollect full. I'm just trying to. So finally, mm, Lord appears in this wood form in the ocean. Then, then for to bring that log of wood, nobody could lift it and bring it. Then Vishwavasu is called from that Sabarjati, and he was given the service of bringing that log of wood taken out, and to make the deities from that um, wood. Nobody could able to do anything on that actually. So finally, one old man comes, and it is said that Lord Himself comes in that old man form, and He says that I will make the deities. I will go inside the temple and uh, make them in some days, 21 days or some particular number of days period. So, and and nobody should come inside. And if somebody opens the door and come, I will not do the work. That will be stopped. So he goes inside and close the door, and a lot of sound comes from inside. That sculpting, that deities. After some days, the sound doesn't come. Then King Nidhinama becomes curious. What is happening inside? No sound is coming. But he told, this number of days don't come inside. And then his wife, Gundicha, she is his wife. So she says, you go and see. Finally, he opens and sees that Lord is in incomplete form, as one thinks, and that old man disappears from that place. So he thinks, I have done so much offense, going inside. That's why Lord is appearing in this form. Then he feels very bad, that he has done mistake. Then Lord appears in his dream, and he speaks to him that, actually I want to appear in this form, because this is my desire. That's why yeah, you have done that way. And he says that I want to uh, uh, appear in a form that where in the Vedas it says, Upanishads, especially in Upanishads, Lord has no hands, no legs, like that. There are so many statements are there. So I am appearing in this form, as I am having no hands and legs. Still, I accept everything. Eat chapan bhog, everything. So like that he says, and this is my desire. So that is the way Lord appear. This is like one reason, like how Lord appear, having no hands and feet, and other things we see in the past times. It's already 9:13. So we see where Jagannath, Krishna Balram, they are hearing their own pastimes. So they went into ecstasy, mm, and they, the the form changes. Lord went into ecstasy, Ashtavikar, like that. So there changes in the body form. I was hearing in another place where, regarding one should be very enthusiastic for hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. And Lord is showing from His own pastime that by hearing his own past tense, he is get into ecstasy and changing his form like that. So when we are hearing the glories of the Lord, one should be very attentive and enthusiastic for hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. So that way, I am not able to tell the whole story, or neither I did not hear fully. So this way, Lord appears in this form and he accepts. And there are benedictions. Indradun Samaraj asked that he doesn't want any descendants, so that nobody claims that is there a temple like that. And also now his hand should not be dry. He always eats uh, chapan bhog and one advances in spiritual way just by eating prasad. Actually, I was hearing from Srinitha Prabhu, he was saying that this form of the Lord is very merciful form, uh, uh, because Lord Jagannath doesn't want to see anybody unhappy. Whatever he desires, he gives. He wants some metal things, he gives. That way, he gives darshan for everyone, opportunity to serve, touch him during Radhayatra time. He comes out of the temple to give darshan of the Lord. So, like that, this form of the Lord is very merciful. So, like in Mayapur Dham, by chanting the holy names, one gets mercy, one advances in spiritual life. And in Jagannath Puri, just by taking prasad, one advances in spiritual life, even though he may not chant or anything. And there are no fasting, anything. Today is Snana Yatra, there is no fasting. You take breakfast, lunch, and evening Snana Yatra. But for Janmashtami, there is fasting till midnight. And for Gaur Purnima, fasting till evening. Moonrise. Nityananda Prabhu's appearance till noon. But for Jagannath, no fasting. And those who stay in Jagannath Puri, they don't even follow Ekadasi also. They eat and rice, panta, so many things are there. But we see also devotee, Odia devotees, they are very, very happy, jolly, and serving. A lot of heavy services they do also and take nicely prasad. So this and by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Lord Jagannath, he appeared in all over the world uh, in this form, giving darshan to everyone all over the world. Jagannath Swami ki, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki. We pray to Jagannath Baldev Subhadra and Srila Prabhupada that they bestow mercy upon us in our life, so that we'll become practice Krishna consciousness nicely. I pray to all of you also, please bless me so that I will get little attachment to Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. Jagannath Swami Nayan Padagami Bhavatami. Grandraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.